All right, this is going to be pro tips for how to do your final project formatting. So I'd go right to the final project folder right there. You see how it's linked? And this video is going to be posted in here. By this time, you have taken a look at the student examples. You've figured out how to look up data and how to focus your problem. And hopefully you're working on your draft and you're going to post it here so I can give you an outline feedback, okay? And definitely upload your PowerPoint template. Here's the rubric. This is what I'm going to be grading against, so make sure that you look at that. And in the week ahead, I am going to be doing peer review projects using this rubric. And this one is extremely important. This is Office 365. And you need to be working in PowerPoint for this project. The majority of you are working in PowerPoint. If you are working not in PowerPoint and working in another software program, you need to be downloading. Here you go to office.com and you sign in using your COCC email, and you can actually see everything you've worked on. This is your OneDrive. But in here also, that's your cloud. In here also is the ability to install Office. Do you see that right there? I'm looking right here on the right hand side. You hit install Office and you can actually download Microsoft Office. Now this is like a $126 free program for you. So you need to install Office to be able to save the PowerPoint onto your computer. Okay? You can't always work in OneDrive. You need that. And I will be talking about that in class. Okay? But this is key right here. Install Office onto your computer. Okay, so let me go back now to the module, and I'm going to go back into the final project module. And I've told you to really work from this template. And this template is key because it sets it up to be a poster project level. And so you've downloaded it, right? And I'm actually opening this file on my computer in PowerPoint. Do you see how it's flashing right there? That means that it's actually opening up in a PowerPoint slide, and here it is, it opened it up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I go File, Save As, and I'm going to save it to my computer, and I'm going to put it, let's say, on my desktop, and I'm going to rename it. I'm going to go Sarah. I'm going to throw in my doctor there, Dr. Barron, saving the PowerPoint. I'm going to even name it, here's my example. And I'm going to save it. So now it is saved onto my Mac, and I can see it just sitting on my desktop over there. Formatting tips. By now you need to put your title in there. So I'm going to put example. I'm going to put title. I'm going to call it like awesome. Well, I'm going to actually give it a title. So let's say I'm doing lead poisoning. Okay. Prevention. Okay. So I'm going to put whatever my title is there. I'm going to put my name in here. I'm going to make sure it's there. And so if you're struggling with this, you should be able to click in here and move things around. And I could see if I go to my home, I could see that right now that font is at 89.6. I definitely don't want it at 89.6. I want it at 4, and 34 is good. And I'm going to view, and I'm going to zoom in to 66% so I could see it better. Do you see how you can do that? Now here's the key. I'm going to type in bullet points here, and I'm going to put graphics down here. But for every bullet point, I'm going to put a citation, agency year, for the fact. Now, if you're using the same reference, you could actually put this all the way down at the bottom and then have a series of bullet points here. And so I'm going to make sure that I put the agency year or the author year for APA. Then over here, I'm going to follow, and I'm going to insert right here my text box. And where is it? Right there, text box. And I'm going to put in my references. And this is where you got to double click to get back into here. And so let's say my agency was Center for Disease Control, and I'm going to put the year here. And the year on the website was 2022. So I'm going to go over here, and then I'm going to go Center for Disease Control, and then I'm going to put my reference in there, 2022, and then I'm going to put the and this is where I'm going to pause this for a second. All right, so now I'm going to show a little bit about references. I'm going to use again the zoom to get down to 66%. You should, one of the big things, if you want to see everything in your slide, make sure that you turn on and view the ruler and the guides. And then I want to be able to see all this right here. Do you see that right there? That helps. And then you can actually do grid lines too, if you want to help you with placement. Okay, but this is the reason why all that is showing up in my slide. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take the zoom, take it down even smaller to 50%, and you can see how this is, that if I click in there and I click in here, I have the ability to do edits in here, and then if I click here, I can move things around. So for home, I have this at 18 font. It can actually be much smaller than that if you want to create room. So I'm going to go back to home. I'm going to take this down, and I'm going to actually zoom this down to 66% so that I can see things a little bit better. And I am going to even reduce my my references down to 12. Now, that's really tiny, right? So now you can't even see that. So I'm going to go back to view, zoom, and I am going to make it bigger. So now it's at 100%. I can see my slide a little bit better. And there is my reference. I'm going to go ahead and zoom it up to 100 to 200%. So there you go. You see my reference there. And I am citing Center for Disease Control. Now, when you're citing the Center for Disease Control, it's an agency and it's a website. And I'm going to point out to a place where you can see how to do APA references. But one of the big things with APA references is that you do the agency, or if it's an author, you do an author, and then you do the year, period. In this case, you do the title of the website, and then you go retrieved, and this is a website, and then I go like this. But one big thing with APA is you need to indent it. So you need to take that, and you go like that. Now, if you're looking at this and you're going, wow, how did she do that? Because it's not showing up for me on mine. It has a lot to do with the fact that you might not have this opened up in Microsoft Office. Okay? So now I'm going to zoom back out again, and I want you to see how this works. So that's my reference here, and I can drag that all the way down to here, and I can make this down to here, And then if I go back to here, I see Center for Disease Control, comma, 2022. And then I go to my references and it says Center for Disease Control. So that's how it matches up. That's an in-text citation here. And that's a reference. Do you see how that works? So get in the habit right now of starting to put your in-text citations in. As you put the problem, you put the bullet points in. When you start to look at this, this is causes or specific to a community. This is where you're researching it and a little bit drilling down on the problem. I'm going to tell you that this is key to start laying this out now. And as you go along, put the in-text citations as you go along. All right, that's a pro tip for you. It's also key to be working in PowerPoint. And again, remember, PowerPoint is provided free from COCC. Okay, make sure you hit save. And that is it.